Good morning, everybody. We're back at Wright Metal Works after a nice night's sleep. But we're gonna get the body lifted up off of this. The motor's mounted in, and we kind of been talking and think we're probably just gonna motor plate the thing because the shaft and the rack and everything, we'd have just as much time trying to cut and modify some of this stuff as just putting a motor plate in it. So I went ahead and overnighted a motor plate from Motion Raceworks. I have a mid plate from the truck, so we'll just toss that in there for now. But right now today, we're gonna get the body up off of the mounts and put the solid mounts in, fully weld the rest of the roll cage, which is pretty much done. The only thing left is add the bars to the tunnel, which we may end up just doing a cross member from this bar to that bar and then tie them to that. So that's probably what we're gonna do. But we're gonna go ahead and lift the body up. Sorry I'm not filming some of the stuff that we're doing. I'm just trying to get it done. So I'll show you updates, as we're kind of going and as we finish it. But like the motor last night, I started recording some of it and it turned into a nightmare that we were trying to just figure out. So I know you guys want to see some of that stuff, but at this point we're just trying to get it done. When we start on the truck, we went out under a time crunch. I'll probably show you guys more stuff if that's what you want to see. If not, then we'll just show you update videos and keep going from there. But enough talking, let's get to doing what we got to do. All right, we got all the separation. We got some big gun 10-inch stroke shocks.
Yeah, we got 10-inch space between the cage and the roof.
All right, body is unbolted and lifted up. So I can final weld all the points on the frame and anything up top, like a couple little spots up here and up here that we couldn't really get to. He couldn't really get to because I'm not a welder, or yeah.
I'm not either.
You just glue metal together,
Hey, stayed a whole day in Express.
But she ready to be welded. And then we can put our diagonal bars in, and then I get to start wiring stuff. I'm excited. Well, first I'm gonna clean up and paint that.
When we got the rack and all that stuff to figure out first too.
Yeah, but that's all out there. I can start wiring inside.
That's true. You can start everything firewall back.
Yep.
So we'll get her welded up, and
I got one brake line I gotta make.
I haven't figured out yet totally what I want to do back there for the diagonal bars. I'm gonna do a cross member with
Yeah.
Kind of leaning that way. So we'll do that and put our solid bushings in, and everything should be
Good to go.
finito.
Yeah, I got one brake line I got to do. It was leaking at the fitting, and then I tried to fix it, and then it got thrown away. So I got to go from here back under, and then
Got Hulk smashed.
yeah, it got Hulk smashed. Me and the brake line had a fist fight. I won, but it's all stretched out now. But once this is all set back down, I'll do that.
Yeah, put your back on the windshield bar.
My shoulder.
Yeah, just be careful.
There's a run, son of a bitch. Maybe they can.
Where's it at? Is it in there? Doctor sprays them all.
Dr.TuneEmAll, that's not me. That's somebody else. Warm in here.
A little warm in there?
A little warm in here. I think I got the majority of the stuff that we can't get to with the cage up.
Looks like you got a run over here.
I do have a run. Got a little thick.
Hey, why don't you, the sidebars though, since they're exposed, why don't you run them all the way down to the top of the door bars? That makes sense? 'Cause you can see them, the sides of the main hoop here. Paint them all the way down to the tops of the door bars, just because they're going to be seen more than probably anything, you know.
All right, she's sitting back on the body. Cage is fully welded. Just got our 2 diagonal bars we got to do, possibly a cross member across the floor. Haven't 100% decided what we're gonna do with that. I did move the shocks down just a touch to lower it, but now all we got to do is bolt the body back down, and then it'll be good. And we can start maybe messing with the motor stuff a little bit, start figuring out kind of wiring layout, stuff like that. But we got to get the rack on. That's part of it too. So I think what we're gonna do after we bolt the body on is set the motor kind of where we're gonna set it with the motor plate, and then figure out the rack stuff first, and then we'll go from there. All right, body's bolted back down. I got all this stuff here painted and our roll bars in. The links aren't connected just because we got to set up the rear suspension stuff still. But we are going to, the next thing on the list is to put this bar in down here. We're gonna do like a cross member across, and then that'll tie in the diagonal bars, and then I can get inside the car and just do everything. I'm gonna kind of like wire brush the whole inside of the car, the floor, clean everything out, and then I'll spray that black, just clean it up a little bit. While TJ does all the stuff in the front, I can get in there and wire and make everything happen inside the car. Other than wiring inside the car, we got the steering shaft and minor stuff, seat, belts, and then obviously we got door stuff to do, but we're getting there. Slowly but surely, she's coming together. Well, I can't even say slowly but surely, it's coming together pretty quick. So, good morning. All right, back down here, Wright Metal Works, you know the deal. Gonna clean out Moonshine. So I've got everything that was in it on top of the car right now, but I'm gonna go ahead and just start vacuuming everything again. I'm gonna get in here with a wire brush and scrub around, vacuum everything, clean everything, and then I'm gonna paint the floor and everything in here just to clean it up a little bit, because it's, yeah, you know, 1969, I was in a field vibe, not feeling it. On the outside, that's fine. On the inside, I want it to just be a little bit cleaner. So gonna do that, and then probably start on some wiring stuff. That's the plan. So try and get the relay panel, everything mounted. I kind of know where I want to place everything. So I'll get this mounted. Oh, we're all tangled up. So I'll get this mounted. I'm thinking somewhere up in this region here, probably up higher, and use one of these bolt holes that we already got, if I can get it on there, like something like that. So put the ECU mount right on this roll bar right here, and then I can tie everything in together. So there you go, that'll give you a better idea. That's where I'm gonna put it. So I'm gonna get to it before it gets too hot out here. It's about 7:45 or so it's not super hot out. We did have a storm go by. Didn't really come here. It rained a little bit yesterday, but it's a little cool right now, so I'm gonna make most of that while I can before it gets 100 freaking degrees out here. All right, other than that section right there that I need a little scraper for, everything's pretty much done, and I did start on the wiring. So I got the ECUs mounted my relay panel, and I ran some wires. All the wires that got to go out to the front up there, all the wires that go to the steering wheel, stuff over there. This stuff has to go to the back of the lights, and that is for the shifter, and then some of the other stuff down there for the Holly stuff. But I'm missing a few things that I can't get today because it's Sunday. Ooh, TJ got the rack bar all bent up. He's got to kind of final weld it and then put the tabs on it for the rack. And then we can do the motor plate. Will be here today. Yes, it'll be here today, Wednesday. And my front wheels for my truck showed up also, so I haven't seen those yet, but we'll get over there and get that stuff. And then we can motor plate this thing, mid plate it, get the steering shaft in, and it's gonna be real close. Once that's done, it's gonna be real close to being able to, like, once that's done, I can wire the car, plumb the car, and we can fire this thing up. So I'm getting excited. All right, guys, the rack mount, the core support mount is done. Painted her up, ready to go. So we'll let that dry, get a couple more coats on it, and then get the rack mounted up. We'll be ready to steer when we get the shaft going. All right, a couple coats of paint, bolted the rack on. I got to get a couple things for the tie rod stuff, like make the bump steer and stuff like that nice. It's sticking out just a touch, so I have to modify that. I might have to modify those. Worst case scenario, there's another tie rod that we can get. So I'm not super concerned with that. These are the screw-on deals, but they do have a weld-on one, which isn't a big deal. I can just unbolt the rack and we can cut and weld those. That's what's on the truck over there. Those are the weld-on deals there. So we may end up with those on here. It just depends on how it sits with everything, and if I can get rid of it with the bump steer kit. But we're that much closer. So we just got the bar on the inside like I've been talking about, and the steering shaft, which the motor plate showed up today. So I'll probably work on that tomorrow. I'll get the motor unbolted, we'll set everything up, and then get rid of those mounts and go from there. It looks like it should clear a lot easier with the motor plate in there. So you can see that's our shaft. Obviously it's gonna run right into that. So what we may end up doing, which we had to do on Bobby's car, is, what they had to do on Bobby's car, we unbolt all this stuff and then take and just notch the frame a little bit just to clear the shaft, and we should be good to go. Just little stuff. But once all that stuff's done, I mean, we can set the seat. I mean, this thing's coming together quick. We got a couple weeks before LS Fest, and I think we'll be just fine getting there. As long as everything goes smooth with the motor running and all that stuff, we should be golden. But that's gonna do it for the Moonshine content. We're gonna head over to the local drag strip, Showtime Speedway. I got a couple buddies' cars that we're doing some tuning on. One's a truck, turbo truck, and then we got a Mustang with LS and a turbo. So we're gonna go play with those. All right, guys, it's looking like it's gonna rain, but we're gonna try to get at least one more pass in. He made a hit before I got here, so it just turned up just a little bit, and we're gonna make another hit. Hopefully, as long as the rain holds out, we can make one more. Gotta see what it does. But this is the combo. It's a 370 cubic inch deal, ported 317 heads, twin cast S366s, and it's on pump gas. That happened just in time. It just started kind of raining. That's just a soft deal. But we'll have to play with it a little bit more, get to build some more boosts on the line so it can leave pretty good. But it just started raining. Hopefully it's just a light deal and they can drag the track off and we can play with it a little bit more. Alright, so my man forgot to turn the CO2 on. We were in a little bit of a rush.
CO2.
Yeah, so that was just on gate. I don't know how many pounds it made, but it went 617 and 110 on gate only. So I'm gonna pull the log and see how many pounds it made, and then we'll go from there. But I don't know if they're gonna call it for the night. It's not raining super hard, it's just sprinkling, but everybody seems to be leaving, so they might just call it. Hopefully they don't though. All right, guys, they're gonna call it. It's just the rain's getting worse, unfortunately, so we don't get to race tonight. Made 2 hits. He forgot to turn the CO2 on both times. That's all right. He was trying to rush, trying to beat the rain, but that's not bad. 618. I don't know how many pounds of boost it was on. It started raining real hard, so I didn't really get the log. He's gonna send it to me later. But that's just part of Florida living. You just gotta deal with the weather, especially in the summertime. So we're gonna end this video off there. As always, stay tuned. We got more Moonshine content coming. I got some Moonshine shirts in. If you pre-ordered the shirts, those have already shipped. My new site should be done soon, so start looking for that. It's gonna be Dr.tunemall.com. Hopefully within the next couple days or so that will be up. We'll have shirts and stuff on there for you guys to buy. But we're getting close on Moonshine. Hopefully we'll be able to start it maybe in a week or so, and then we'll get to rolling. We'll see you in the next episode, guys.